listening to Fountain of Thought with your hosts, Dennis Fountain and Sonny Rain. One small step for man, one giant leap for America.
This show contains adult themes and language. Listener discretion is advised.
Welcome, everyone, to Fountain of Thought. This is the podcast where we talk about anything and everything. Call in or leave us a voicemail on our listener line at 413-612-8037. Like us on Facebook. Follow us on Twitter at TalkFOT. Subscribe to us on YouTube and Rumble, or visit our website at fountainofthought.com, where you're going to find contest registrations, shout-out requests, and so much more. As always, I'd like to introduce my co-host and broadcast partner, Sonny Rain. Hey, Sonny.
How you doing, Dennis?
Good. How are you?
You know, I'm so glad you asked. It began when I was 12 years old, and I came home from... No.
What began when you were 12? Do I want to know?
That's something.
It's
for
classified.
Another show. That's
classified.
It's for something for another show. Yes,
classified.
I'm doing pretty well. Just hanging out here, doing a little shrimp fishing.
All right, cool.
Yeah.
Did you?
A little shrimping.
They come out gray, right? And then when you cook them, then they're pink. Is that how it goes? I don't eat shrimp.
As far as you know.
As far as I know. Okay, great. So unless you've been living under a rock, I'm sure you know about Gabby Petito.
Who's that? No,
You've
just kidding.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I'm sorry. That was that wasn't tasteful. No. Yeah, I have heard it. I've heard it.
Okay. Well, we have
I've heard a plethora of stories about that.
Okay. Well, we have our field correspondent Holly, who's going to come on and talk to us about that. So let's see if we can get her on the line here. And let's see. So there she is, Holly, our field correspondent. How are you?
Good. How are you?
Good.
How you doing, Holly?
So it's
Good.
nice to
How are you?
It's nice to have you on the podcast, and you are our official field correspondent who's going to bring us all kinds of great news and things that are happening. And unfortunately, sometimes bad news, as the case may be for this. But we're turning to you for the Gabby Petito case because we know you've been keeping an eye on this and very, very on top of things as far as this goes. Is that correct?
Yes. Poor Gabby.
Yeah, poor
It's
Gabby.
sad.
Yeah. So this all began way back in July 2nd, I believe, as that's when they started their trip from New York. They were doing a cross-country trip, and for those of you that, like I said, are living under a rock and don't know, it's Gabby Petito and Brian Laundrie were a couple, and they met when their parents owned a house in New York. If I'm getting this right, anytime I'm wrong, stop in and stop me. But
You're right.
Okay,
Far.
that's where they met, and a relationship kind of ensued. But then they fell away from each other because his parents moved to Florida, and then for some reason they met up again and they started this romance and they got engaged and they were going to do this cross-country field trip. She's a big-time blogger and wanted to have her own website and talk about blogging and nutrition, and that's how it all started.
They lived in Florida with Brian's parents.
Right, for 9 months or something like that, is that?
Yeah, I think about a year.
Yeah, about a year, okay. And then they stopped in Kansas at the Monument Rocks on July 5th. They went to Colorado, Utah, and then August 12th is when things started, at least that we know of, to start to take a turn because the police responded to a domestic violence incident involving the couple. And we may backtrack to that in a second. I'm just trying to give you a brief overview. And then she went missing and nowhere to be found.
You just jump ahead.
Oh, I can't jump ahead? Oh, okay.
No, you got to give the backstory to have justice for Gabby.
Okay. So
on August 12th, when they got pulled over for the domestic violence case, they had 2 calls. They responded to one of them, though. That's the one that we saw on the body cam footage.
Right.
Watched it. Well, they were pulled over and Gabby was crying. She was having a little bit of an anxiety attack or panic attack. And she was saying that they were fighting because Brian doesn't support her dream to be the big YouTube star that she wanted to be. And she was having, you could tell she was having anxiety. So then they took her over, talked with her. They took Brian out, and he was just so calm, like laughing the whole time, just weird vibes. And then he was saying, oh, like, I hope Gabby didn't say anything bad about me, which
And
is
he also referred to her new career as her little website. Is that what he called it? I believe, her little
yeah.
website.
She was making it in the car, and that's when he got upset. And but the other police call that they didn't show like anything for, because they didn't respond to that one. They responded to the call that we obviously know from the body cam footage. But there was a guy who was saying that he was hitting her, and that's what was happening. And he drove off and started to leave the van. So two different stories that
I believe I have that 911 call. So here
Yeah.
it is.
Grant County Sheriff's Office.
Were you able to get a description of the intoxication?
Hi, can you hear me, sir?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Hi, I'm calling. I'm right on the corner of Main Street by Moonflower, and we're driving by, and I'd like to report a domestic dispute. Florida with a white van, Florida license plate, white land, gentleman
Where's
about
it at?
5'6" beard. They just drove off. They're going down Main Street. They made a right onto Main Street from Moonflower.
Or what were
Community
they doing?
Cooperative, but what do you say?
What were they doing?
We drove by, and the gentleman was slapping the girl.
He was slapping her?
Yes, and then we stopped. They ran up and down the sidewalk. He proceeded to hit her, hopped in the car, and they drove off.
Okay, you said it's a white van?
White van. I can give you the license plate if you give me 1 sec. I took a picture of it.
What kind of white van? Like a big one?
It was a smaller van with the license plate of, it was white, Florida license plate QFT G03. It was, the make was a Ford, model was Transit, black ladder on the passenger side.
Black ladder, passenger side.
White Ford Transit.
White Ford Transit. And where did they, so they turned, they headed south on Main Street from Moonflower Market?
Correct. They made the right turn.
Oh, so they went north.
North. Yeah, sorry, I'm not from around here.
Okay, so you're right there by the post office?
Right across the street, yep.
Okay, and when they turned onto Main Street, they went right or left?
Right.
Right, so they went north. North on Main. All right, I will let somebody know. Thank you.
Yeah, no worries.
Bye.
Thanks.
And that is that 911 dispatch call that you referenced. Now,
so sad. He definitely was manipulative. You can tell by her reactions, and you can see it in her body when she's in the body cam footage that she's having a mental breakdown because he's.
if somebody wants to go Google that, it's all over the internet. You can see it. We're not going to play it here, but it does look like, and allegedly, it does look like she's reacting as a woman would who's been beaten and abused, and she says that they're in love and she doesn't want anything to happen between them and all that stuff. Now, there's also talk about the police, how they didn't do their job properly, because there's a discussion about the slapping, whether that got relayed to those officers that stopped them or not. But even so, if you just happen to watch the video of the stop, she admits to slapping him. He admits to pushing her. There's scratches on both of them. And in a domestic, somebody usually ends up going to jail, but no one went to jail. They separated him for the night. He went to a motel, and I don't know where she went. Do you know where she went, Holly?
So she stayed in the van because it's her van. And also, I mean, with the whole police thing, I think knowing what we know now that she's missing, people are obviously looking back at the police like, oh, I wonder if they did the right thing. But if they didn't know about the other, like if that police officer didn't know about the other call, I think he made good of a choice as he could. I mean, now I know he's feeling terrible because I heard about it, because he wishes he did something else. Maybe something would have happened. Maybe that this wouldn't have happened. But I think in the moment, I mean, he was listening to this couple who said they love each other. They don't want to be apart from each other. And I
Well, as the as the old saying goes, hindsight is 20/20.
Yeah, there was. Go ahead.
No, I was just gonna say, and when they were deciding or not if she was gonna go to jail, Brian was the one who was like, "Oh, can you put me in jail instead?" Like
Right.
he's on the body cam footage, and that's odd to say. And then he said he didn't want the no contact order thing, whatever. And then they decided, obviously, not to put her in jail because she didn't mean him any harm.
Right. And that's what at the very end of the police stoppage of the interview, they said, think about this carefully, and they explained to her what had happened. And the two cops are talking, and one cop says to the other, well, it's your call. I'll support whatever you say, and he says, listen, we don't want to ruin your lives over this because a domestic citation or whatever it was could affect the rest of your life. So we're just going to separate you and be on your way. So, yeah.
To be fair, too, even though they separated them, if they didn't, all that was going to happen was that she would get that no contact order and then they would be back together. So
right. Again,
it would have been like, they couldn't prevent what did happen, I think. Right. But
so
I was just gonna say one more thing.
Yeah, go ahead.
I forgot what I was gonna say.
Oh, that happens to me all the time.
Yeah, I forgot. What was I gonna say?
It's in the water.
It'll come back to you. So that was the August 12th incident, and then the last that we know of hearing of Gabby is August 24th. She was last seen at a Salt Lake City hotel, and nobody saw her after that. She was missing.
She talked to her mom one more time.
Well, yes, but saw her. That was the last time, right?
Saw her. I mean, her mom saw her on FaceTime.
Right. She talked to her, right? Right.
Yeah.
And then August 25th, I believe, that was the final call, right? As she called her mom was the next day. And I think that was the last time they were in the Grand Teton National Park.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and she told her, go ahead.
No, I was going to say she told her that they were going to Grand Teton.
Right. Yeah. And then they were planning a trip to Yellowstone. And then there were two texts that were unusual. You want to tell us about those, Holly?
Yeah, I mean, the first one was mom got a text that said no service in Yosemite, but they weren't planning on ever going to Yosemite, according to Gabby's mom. And then, I mean, she got one further on that I think we could save till later that relates more.
So then August 30th, that was the last text, the no service in Yosemite. And then I don't have any more information until September 11th when Gabby's mom called the police and said she was missing. Do I got that?
Between there.
What happened? Go ahead, tell us.
So we find this out more later, but like it's happens on August 27th, but we don't find it out till later. But this couple who was they travel through national parks too, and they're YouTube, and they had video. Again, they didn't know it at the time because you wouldn't have known, but it was her van parked on the side in one of the areas. And actually, if you they replayed the video and somebody shuts the door. Like there is somebody in there, right. And like Abby's flip-flops are by the van, but you don't.
Her hat too, right?
Yeah, her hat is there. Mm-hmm. But you don't see anyone. You do see the back door shut.
Right. And
at Spread Creek.
Right. And then also before this, at some point, they were at the Mary Piglet's Mexican Cafe where a altercation broke out there as well, where they were arguing, and the waitress, he ticked off the waitress some way, and we haven't heard a lot about that because the restaurant's refusing to comment, but something went on there as well. So
they got into another argument, and I think
yeah, he went in and out 4 times. You've got clear evidence that, listen, at best that they've been arguing and there've been altercations between both of them at best. At worst, we know what we could think. But
I mean, and from watching her too, though, you can tell that he is like
manipulative.
Thinks it's her fault. She thinks everything is her fault, and you can tell that from him by his reactions, and he's just like laughing the whole time.
Mm-hmm.
Also, back to real quick, I remember what I was going to say.
Sure.
The whole body cam van footage thing. The cops were like asking about why he was trying to drive off when it was her van. He was trying to leave her there. So she was like, no, you can't just leave me here. And he said that he had to have the van because he didn't have a phone. He said he had no phone. But then a couple minutes later, Gabby was like, oh, make sure he brings his phone charger. And then he all of a sudden has a phone and is like checking it before he gives it to the cops. Don't know that.
Suspicious. Yeah.
Yeah. Oh,
So-
I was also going to say that on September 1st is when he reportedly comes home with the van.
Right. And that's
Again, find that out till later after Gabby's reported missing.
right. That's another thing is why what he didn't say anything to anybody. We don't know if he talked to his parents. If we did, they're not saying anything. They're giving no information about what's going on. Why?
Well,
did
he
this...
said.
Go ahead.
Sorry, real quick. The cops say, like, the van was home on September 1st, but two things. One, mid-trip, he also flew home to the storage unit in Florida, wherever. Nobody knows why, but
I didn't hear about this one. This is news to me.
no. He came home mid-trip to do something with the storage unit, but he lives with his parents. He doesn't like have anything to pay for. So why did he have to go to the storage unit? Why did he have to leave their cross-country vacation to go to the storage unit?
Right.
And then, so he comes home on September 1st. Well, police never confirmed that he was actually there. They don't have sight of him. They're only believing the words of the parents, which why do you trust them? Because look at what they're doing. They're not saying anything about poor Gabby. They're just like,
they're not cooperating, right?
Yeah. And he got a lawyer as soon as he returned home on September 1st. Like they got the lawyer.
So he he comes home without Gabby, brings the van home, and then this part is a little gray to me. What happened to the van after that? I'm not sure where the van go, because I know he takes his Mustang to go 4 days later, right? He takes his Mustang to go to this park to retreat or whatever, get in touch with his...
before that, like Gabby's mom reports her missing, but I mean, she's been trying to, but the police are like, oh, well, she's an adult. She's on a cross-country trip. Like she's not a
12-year-old.
Yeah, we can't report her missing yet. So like mom's like waiting, but she knows something's wrong. So then finally she reports her missing on September 11th. And the police I'm pretty positive they searched the van. Like they have now gone through the van.
So that part I didn't know. I saw them towing away his Mustang, but I didn't see what happened to the van.
So on the 4th,
there's a picture of him. They're towing away the Mustang there. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. So on the 14th, that's when Brian's family had the lawyer and say that they were not making any statements, anything about Gabby. They weren't going to say anything. They were just staying out of it. And then we come to find out that September 14th is actually the last day they saw, quote unquote, Brian. But again, we didn't find that out till a couple of days ago. So then the parents think that he may have gone hiking in a reserve nearby. That's where he took the Mustang to because the Mustang was gone.
Right. Allegedly.
Yeah.
Because I'm not thinking he went there. I'm not thinking that.
Oh, I'm not thinking. I'll get to that after.
Okay.
On the 15th, he was named a person of interest. This was, again, we didn't know that he was missing because the parents never said anything. He went missing on a Tuesday, like apparently, but parents didn't tell the cops until Friday, the 17th, that he was missing. Well, we don't really know if he was missing because we don't really know if he was ever there. Right. Nobody besides the parents have said he was there. So then on the 19th, though, sad, unfortunately, they found her body and they, at Spread Creek, where the bloggers had the video of that van.
Right.
And I also watched the video of the couple afterwards, and they were just sobbing. They felt so bad because if only they had known, like same thing, like the cop, if only they had known, maybe something could have been different. But again, never known. They thought about stopping, but at the same time, they're like, oh, they're probably just enjoying, or maybe they're on a hike or something.
Well, they wanted to stop and confront them because they were both from Florida. Yeah. That's what piqued their interest.
Yes. Yeah. Right. They both had Florida license plates, and they were like, oh, that's interesting.
Right.
I don't think they saw that.
Was the autopsy report revealed yet?
They said they weren't going to reveal it until Gabby was brought home to her family in New York. So we haven't heard anything about that.
So they're not giving any reason.
Well, they said it was they said it was a homicide, but they're not giving any more.
Right. No cause of death.
But they haven't said what type. They haven't said what type of blunt force trauma or
correct
gunshot. Nothing has been disclosed yet.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
We've heard nothing about the condition, how she was found, anything. The only thing we've heard is that they've labeled it a homicide. Other than that, there's been no information whatsoever about that.
And then the last thing I had to say was yesterday they finally got the warrant for his arrest because he used her credit card or debit card.
Not for murder, though.
No.
Yeah, they didn't get him right.
No, but they do have a warrant for his arrest.
Right.
Because he used her credit card, debit card, whatever.
Right. Yeah. Yeah.
Oh, sidetrack. Also going back to a part when they were at, this is just like speculation, I'm not really sure. But he had said, I know he had said in the body cam footage that he didn't have any money for a hotel. They had no money because they're obviously cross country, like they don't have jobs. So he said he had no money to spend on the hotel. But then I don't really know if it's true or not. People are saying that he was hitchhiking and like they picked him up and he offered to give them $200. Well, how would he supposedly get all that money then if he had no money for the hotel? So that's a little.
Well, there are two accounts of hitchhikers, I believe. Two people come forward.
Yeah.
Said they picked him up. One of them picked him up. And
Miranda Baker.
Right. And then they didn't get very far and he panicked and he practically jumped out of a moving car, they said, to get out of the car.
Well, because they were going to Florida and they were going to stop there.
Right.
And he didn't want them to stop there. He wanted to just get dropped off and then go on their merry way. But also, one of the other people said that, again, I don't know if this is true what they're saying, but they said that he was there and all he had was a tarp. He told them that he was sleeping with just a tarp or something, but like he had the van. I don't know. I think he didn't want them to know. I don't know.
Right. Yeah. It's very suspicious. It's extremely suspicious of what happened. So now he's home and allegedly he's home and his parents say that, he's on this walkabout and he goes to the swamp. He goes to this swamp. And if you've ever been to a Florida swamp, it's treacherous. And
that we know of.
Well, that's what I'm saying is that's what the parents are saying. We don't even know if this is true or not, or whether he actually did this.
And they could have been saying he's at the swamp. They're in there with big machines trying to find him in there, which they could just be leading him around somewhere else. Like he could be anywhere, and they're just covering for him.
It's like 25,000 acres, right? Is that what it is? That where they're searching for him now? They've been actively searching.
Yeah, currently, yeah.
Yeah, and so those are mostly the facts that we know, right?
And we also two more things. One, the sister had the interview, and she was saying how they all love Gabby, like the sister's kids love Gabby, like they want to find her. Clearly not, because the parents don't say anything. Like, how can you have no respect for her when she lived with you and she's a human being and you can't even say anything? And all they're concerned about is finding their missing son, who's not even missing.
Right. Well, now they claim he is missing, but yeah.
Well,
so I also if you Google it, you could find it too. I also saw photos of his bedroom, and this is confusing me as well. Did you see those photos? Any of you?
I did not.
Yeah, there's photos of his bedroom. If you go Google it, you'll find them. And he has a single bed, and they were making a big deal about he has a Star Wars Darth Vader helmet and some anime things and a poster of something with dark figures beheading people or something. And they're making to me, that's a big deal. That's something. But what gets me out of that is he has a single bed.
I heard, though, that they think because Gabby lived with them, and some people think that when he went to the storage unit, him and his dad took Gabby's stuff and put it in the storage unit. That's what some are saying, because, and now I didn't know that they had a photo like that. But it kind of makes sense, because if Gabby lived with him, where's all of her stuff?
Right. And the FBI raided it. They went in, as you can see, there's a picture below. The FBI went in, they raided the place. They took all of these things out of there. I'm assuming they took, whatever laptops were there, whatever, type of.
They had stuff. They had access to their phones now too.
Right. So,
where is all of her stuff? Because she did live there for like a year.
Well, it was probably in the back of the van. Did you see the contents of that van? I don't know how they.
Well, yeah, no, it was crowded, but still, what was the storage unit for?
Yeah.
Who knows? He could have put it there.
Yeah. So let's turn from some of the facts that we know and let's go to speculation.
I have one more fact real quick.
All right, throw it in.
Kind of what you said about the posters and beheading people, whatever. He was, again, he could just be like how I like to listen to like true crime things. He could have just liked that too, I guess. But the coincidence is weird because he was reading a book about like a couple who went on a trip into national
That's
park.
true.
The boyfriend killed the girlfriend.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
a little weird to me that now she's dead.
Yeah, he was reading that book, allegedly reading that book, but yeah. They said he was an avid reader and he was a super intelligent guy. I mean, they're saying he was
Clearly.
really
And
smart.
also people are comparing him to Chris Watts because he's like a psychopath. Like how he was laughing in the video, just like Chris Watts was like playing it off like he had no idea what was going on. That's exactly the same vibes I got from both of them.
Right.
Oh, look!
Right.
Look at Ted Bundy. He
I
defended
know.
himself.
Yeah.
Defended himself in court. Even the judge said to him in sentencing that he was he felt bad. I don't know, remember the exact words, but how he felt bad that he wouldn't be able to perform in his courtroom in the future because he was that good. So I mean, intelligence has nothing really to do with it, other than the fact that it just makes the stew a little thicker.
Yeah.
He's very smart, but lacks anything else, emotional feelings. He doesn't have any of that.
Mm. So now, any more facts you got there for us, Holly? Or what you got so far?
I think that's it.
All right. Let's go to speculation. What do we think happened? Allegedly, what do we think happened? I think that they got into a fight, some type of altercation. I don't think he intended on killing her. I really don't. I think there was an accident of some sort or a fit of rage, or that type of thing, and whether she fell off a cliff or whether he hit her so hard she fell and hit a rock. Who knows? I think something to that nature happened, and then ever since then, it's just been a complete lie. I don't think he's in that swamp either. I think he's gone.
I don't.
Well, you
I
think he what?
he's
He went and
gone.
killed himself?
No. I don't think he did that.
No.
I think he did mean to do it. I think he did kill her on purpose, and I don't know, something about the van like just doesn't line up. Like how he got. I don't know if the dad. I heard like the dad could have gone out there with them, got the van back, and he called them. Like they in on it. I feel like the parents were in on it, and it was intentional. And I just don't. I don't know, because if it was an accident or whatever, like I know obviously he was in shock and probably just went home, whatever. But like, then why do all these other weird things?
Because he panicked, and then it was too late. It's too late. Once you do that, it's too late. You can't go back and say, "Oh, I'm sorry."
I know,
it was
but
an accident.
but now he's going down for it either way because he fled. He had her van, so even if it was an accident, and he like reported it, whatever, okay. But I mean, he also just left, so it's not like now he's just going down for it either way, whichever one, he's to blame.
So you think he took his own life in the swamp?
I don't think he's dead. I think he's running, and I think he's on social media looking at what everyone's doing, saying about him where he is, and I think he's smart. I think he's staying.
So he's watching this podcast right now.
Yeah,
there's a multitude of possibilities, and when you look at some of the stuff you just said, are they trying to paint a picture of the psyche he had based on things they found in the room and so forth and so on. And we've all seen enough movies with with crime and how this unfolds. I mean, how it's hard to say. I mean, if I had my opinion, I'm going to say this relationship was toxic for a long period of time. I think that if he was reading this book and some of the things you're saying, well, there's a possibility, like a lot of people, it starts to creep into your mind. What's the word for it? We all think of weird things, but doesn't necessarily mean we're going to act on them. However, in this particular case, maybe the relationship wasn't going very well in his mind, and he was getting tired of it, and maybe he was thinking about a premeditated murder. Or again, it could have been just in the heat of a moment of a fight. He could have hit her, and he could have killed her. It can go so many different ways without hearing his side of the story. But what I'm getting to is that right now it's being tried in the media, and everybody's got an opinion. Everybody's got their own point of view, and
that's why we're talking about it.
Yeah, there's no right or wrong at this point unless we get the chance to hear from him. let's say
I
he's.
feel like that'll never happen because.
Well, that's the point. If he's dead,
no.
well then
No,
it's
I
going to
don't
be
think-
another
I don't
chucked
think
into
he's
another
dead, though.
mystery.
I don't think he's dead though. I feel
don't-
like the parents. I
I think
I
they helped
agree.
him
I don't
escape.
think I don't think he's dead either. I'm
Yeah,
just
no.
saying that at this point, it's just all going to be speculation.
I
Because
think the
if-
parents helped him escape.
Yes.
Although his wallet and ID is still at the house, so I don't know. He can't leave the country unless he finds some way to go to Mexico or something in the back. Hey, you know how easy it is for them to come in. It's not quite as easy for people to go out. But where would he go?
That's why I'm saying I agree with you. I think this was a fit of rage or something.
Mhm.
Because if somebody was going to do premeditated, there's too
He
many
would have it all
loopholes.
thought out.
Because then now we're going from a guy we're projecting as very smart to being very dumb.
Exactly.
I mean, if you're
Yeah,
going to
that's true.
plan, if you're going to plan to off somebody, you're not going to leave your ID behind.
Right.
You're not
Right.
going to take, no, this is a situation where an argument went bad. Something happened. He ran home to his parents. He panicked. The parents are panicking. Well, they're parents, whether it's the right thing to do, the wrong thing to do, that's their kid. So they're panicking. Everybody's
But if
making.
I was the parents, I would have never planned my escape for my kid.
Well, that's because your parents probably raised you better than that.
Hmm.
And I can also speak from the fact that until you actually have kids, and I don't, I can't comment on that. I don't know what it feels like to have a blood relation with somebody. Dennis can speak to that. I can't, and you can't yet either, Holly.
Yeah, but I wouldn't look at my kid and be like, "You just killed someone. Here, let me plan your escape." No.
Well,
I don't think they planned this escape. I just think
Yeah,
that
They
just
work together. They
themselves.
work
Yes.
together.
Yeah.
But still,
I think they work
would,
together because it doesn't
Yes.
fit. It doesn't. The facts
They're
don't
being
fit.
so
This car-
sketchy about it. They're not. They're refusing to say. Like they didn't even say
Right.
we got her. They didn't say we were concerned for her. We want to find her. Nothing.
Yeah, they didn't want to speak to
Yes.
anybody. They didn't want to do anything.
No.
Okay, here's hypothetical. Let's say he comes home. He says to his parents, "Oh my God, something horrible happened. There was an accident. I didn't have anything to do with it. It was a bona fide accident, but we had already been talked to by police and people had seen us. And now I'm going to, no matter how I look at this, I'm guilty. I'm guilty. What do I do? What do I do?" They're going to think I'm guilty no matter what I say. Now the parents automatically, "Oh my God, we believe our son. If he says he didn't kill her in a rage, what are we going to do?" Well, then maybe in that case, they do help him to get away at the moment until they can sort things out and try
That's
to
what it
and give
is.
him some time.
I think that's what it is.
That's
I think
that's the emotional part of it.
I agree with you, Sonny. I think that's what they wanted to do. I think they wanted to give him time so they could get evidence and get things in a row and hire attorneys and do all this stuff.
Wrap your head around everything. Get a few more points of view. And
Yeah.
again, we're not going to know anything until he's apprehended.
Because I still that whole Mustang thing doesn't smell right either. I mean, supposedly he takes his Mustang to this swamp place where he's going to go camp or whatever, and he's 2 days a day or whatever he's gone, and then the parents just happen to
Like
go
3
there.
days.
3 days. The parents just happen to go there because they think they know where he camps, and they go there and they leave a note on the car for him saying that, hope everything's okay or something like that, and then the next day they go back, and then there's a note from the cops saying you got to pull your car, it's going to get towed, so they drive it home. How's that? That just doesn't happen. That's just so bizarre. So I agree. I think the parents
This
are
is
in
a
on
bunch of people panicking and not knowing what to do, and they're trying to buy some time.
Yeah.
As things unfold, there's going to be two outcomes as far as he goes. He's either going to come to his senses and he's going to give himself up, or he's going to off himself.
I don't
Those
think
are
he's
the
gonna
only
do that though.
Well, I don't know either, but I'm saying those are his only
Yeah,
two
no,
options.
those are his.
He's
yeah,
not
those
going to be
doesn't
able to,
happen.
he's not going to skip the country. He has no ID on him. Unless
He has nothing.
we all know it's a lot easier to get into the country than it is to
That's
get
what I
out.
said. Yeah. But I don't.
That's what I think. It's gonna end up one of those two, and
I agree.
That's when we're gonna know exactly what happened.
Yeah.
It is just very interesting though how like the media is playing a part in it. Like they would have never found they would have found the van, I'm assuming, but on a longer period of time if that couple didn't record it and if they weren't on YouTube. They would have never known. I mean, they share it on TikTok and now they know, and other people are like piecing parts together.
Right. Well, people have to realize, even like in the wilderness, there's cameras everywhere. no matter where you go, you're being photographed somewhere. Somebody knows where you are. And you just can't get away with things like you used to.
I was just talking the other day that when you take Google Maps, for instance, you can go on Google Maps and you can zoom into your house to the degree in which you can see the car parked in front of your house. And this is just anybody with a cell phone or a camera or, with a computer can do this. If we can do that on Google, can you imagine high-tech government stuff, what they can see?
Well, they can get live. They can do live. What the stuff you're looking at is years old.
They can look at my hair follicles right now from space. I mean, it's you're seen everywhere.
I saw a video of I think it was yesterday, of like a someone has like a deer cam or whatever, and they're in their trails and woods back behind them.
They thought it was him.
Yeah.
Yeah, but it wasn't. It wasn't.
It wasn't.
No, it was proved that it wasn't him. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
Black and white trail camera.
You're going to see a lot of false sightings.
Well, yeah, I just didn't look it up again. I mean, I saw it yesterday too. So.
Yeah. No, they concluded that was not him. Yeah.
And if the National Choir was still out there, the stories would be endless.
And there's a lot of lookalikes. I mean, he's just an average guy. He doesn't look like anything like doesn't.
Well, I do think he looks different though when he's got that beard and without a hat. He does look different than when he's clean shaven with a hat on.
No, I know, but I'm saying like there's a lot of people. He's just like a generic.
Oh, he's just a generic. Yeah.
There's nothing like easily like it's him. Like she has tattoos. He has
right.
Like he could look like a lot of different people.
Yeah, he could. Yeah. So that's the information we have so far. Our hearts go out to the families. It's a horrendous thing. I believe Sunday they're having a memorial service for her in New York, and they invited the public to go to this. So everyone's invited. I don't remember where it is. I'm sorry, but it's just a sad thing. It's a tragic thing. 22 years old to end that way. It's awful. And if you look at any of the videos or anything, she had this blog. She was always posting these things. She was always so vibrant and full of life. It's a shame. It's a shame.
That's nice that they're inviting the public, because I mean everybody is was rooting for her. Like I thought I really had this like sliver of hope that she was gonna be alive and like it was gonna be figured out. But
yeah. I agree. We all love to think the best of things. Well, most of us do, but all right.
Except we're coming for you, Brian Laundrie.
Yeah.
We're coming for you.
So, Holly, we want to thank you for being our on-the-spot field correspondent for this information. As always, you bring us the greatest stuff. Any final questions for Holly, Sonny? Or statements?
No, not at the moment. But I think this topic is going to be coming up the next few weeks again. So we'll see and stay tuned.
Yeah.
I hope they find him alive, and I hope he gives the families
the closure that's needed.
Yeah, like there's no reason. Like that's not going to help them, but at least like something to help them.
Right. All right. Well, Holly, we look forward to seeing you again. I believe we have you scheduled for an upcoming podcast in a few weeks about the Mandela effect. So we're looking forward to that.
At least that will be a happier topic.
Yes. All right.
The vanilla effect?
Yeah, the vanilla effect.
I prefer chocolate myself.
Holly, our field correspondent, thank you, and have a good evening.
Bye.
All right, so that's going to end that segment, and we are going to be right back after I merge onto the highway to hell, and hopefully my GPS will find the right exit.
Fountain of Thought podcast, listen you will. Funny they are. Talk about anything and everything they do. Wit and charm DJs Dennis and Sonny have. FountainOfThought.com, website you go. There is no try, only do.
Why's the basketball court all wet? Because the players kept dribbling on it.
The dad joke. Corny, groan-worthy, but also one of the simplest ways to share a moment with your kids.
What did the buffalo say when he dropped his son off at school? Bye, son.
So take a moment to make your kid laugh, because dad jokes rule. Make your kid laugh today. Go to fatherhood.gov. Brought to you by the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services and the Ad Council.
old sack of shit, slut trash can, gummies, dirtbag, bitch!
What was that?
I have no idea. For the first time in my life, I'm speechless. I don't know why I did that.
All right. Well, welcome back, everyone. If you are interested in becoming a sponsor or advertising on our show, please drop us an email at talkfot@gmail.com or give us a call. Our phone number is 413-612-8037.
The moment you've been waiting for is finally here. Yes, true or false headlines.
All right, Sonny, before I get into this, I'm trying to see what's on your shirt over there. It's covered up by the mic. What does your shirt say?
It's a public service announcement.
Okay.
For me.
For you.
Yeah.
I would like to thank my middle finger for always sticking up for me when I need it. Okay, that's very good. All right, so this is True or False Headlines. It's being sponsored by the Ludlow Lions Club Period Project. Please consider making a feminine hygiene product donation to the Ludlow Lions Club so they may distribute them to those in need. Donations can be given to any Ludlow Lion or stop by their eyeglass collection booth at the Ludlow Community Market on Saturday, October 2nd and Sunday, October 3rd. All right, it doesn't get much It doesn't get much simpler than this. I'm going to read you two headlines, Sonny, and you guys can play at home. And by the way, guys, anyone watch Survivor out there? Yeah, that's all I'm going to say, guys. I'm going to give you two headlines. One is correct. One is not correct. It's pretty simple. You just tell me which one you think is which. All right. So here's the first one. Arizona mud puddle has healing properties. Or a Massachusetts man dies from too much licorice.
What's going to be headline number one?
So you believe Arizona mud pie is true?
Absolutely. Really?
Yes. A Massachusetts construction worker's love of black licorice wound up costing him his life. Eating a bag and a half every day for a few weeks threw his nutrients out of whack and caused the 54-year-old's man's heart to stop, doctors reported Wednesday. Even a small amount of licorice you eat can increase your blood pressure a little bit, said Dr. Neil Butala, a cardiologist at Mass General Hospital who described the case in the New England Journal of Medicine. The problem is glyceric acid, I hope I pronounced that right, found in black licorice and in many other foods and dietary supplements containing licorice root extract. It can cause dangerously low potassium and imbalances in other minerals called electrolytes. Eating as little as 2 ounces of black licorice a day for 2 weeks could cause a heart rhythm problem, especially for folks over the age of 40, the U.S. Food and Drug Administration warns. The death was clearly an extreme case. The man had switched from red fruit-flavored twists to the black licorice version of the candy for a few weeks before his death. He collapsed while having lunch at a fast food restaurant. Of course, you know,
that had nothing to do with it,
McDonald's
right?
had nothing to do with it,
no,
right?
No, not at all. It wasn't that Big Mac and French fries that put him over the edge.
Right. Doctors found he had dangerously low potassium.
Allegedly.
Yes, which led to heart rhythm and other problems. Emergency responders did perform CPR on the man and did revive him, but he died the next day at the hospital. So, Sonny, I know you love licorice. Do you love the black licorice?
No, I don't like licorice.
Yes, you do.
No, I had a thing when I was in the hospital for Twizzlers, and then
that's
I got
licorice.
Over it. Yeah, but I got over it. I just
you got over it.
I don't know. One time, all of a sudden, I just didn't like it anymore.
Okay.
Especially black licorice. No.
I never liked.
Kid, I did like Good and Plenty though. Well, I don't know.
Never liked black licorice. All right, here are the next two headlines. One is false and one is
Racist.
true. Texas toddler drives 5 miles in a stolen car for a Happy Meal. There's our McDonald's connection. Or Illinois man kept Richard Nixon's unfinished sandwich for over 60 years.
The correct headline is the number one. The little chap went to get a Happy Meal. Oh, give me a break.
No. An Illinois man is celebrating his 60th birthday with an unusual keepsake, a sandwich that he's kept frozen ever since it was half-eaten by Richard Nixon in 1960. Steve Jenney of Sullivan said he was a Boy Scout when Nixon visited the town of Sullivan during a September 22, 1960 campaign stop. The future president attended a cookout and ate half of a buffalo chicken sandwich, which Jenney then took home to keep. He said, "I looked around and thought, well, if no one else is going to take it, I'm going to take it." The sandwich brought Jenney notoriety over the years, most notably a 1988 guest appearance on The Tonight Show with Johnny Carson. Jenney said the appearance yielded him a half-eaten snack from Carson, as well as a paper plate signed by Steve Martin, who quipped that he had earlier used the plate to eat some chicken salad. Jenney said his collection now also includes unfinished foods from entertainers Tiny Tim and Henny Youngman. "As long as I'm living, that sandwich will be stored in my freezer in a container that is labeled, 'Save, don't throw away.'"
That's stupid.
If you go to our website, fountainofthought.com, you will find the Johnny Carson interview that he did 28 years ago, I think is.
They got together on Johnny Carson to look at a
Yes.
a sandwich that Richard Nixon didn't finish.
Yes, they did.
And we wonder why.
Yeah.
We wonder why things just don't seem to go the way they should.
Yeah. All right.
Let's play Hollywood Soundbite Theater.
All right. Are you introducing this or am I?
I'm going to let you do it today.
All right. So Sonny and I.
No, I'm going to do it.
Okay.
All right. Now the rules, Dennis.
Sonny and I will each pick a contestant to play for and then volley 3 movie sound clips at each other with a chance to earn a point for a movie title, a character, and an actor. If we correctly identify all 3, 5 points will be awarded. We are allowed 1 clue and 1 pass per game. Each week, the winning contestant's name will be entered into our monthly $25 gift card giveaway. Register for all our contests at fountainofthought.com.
You enunciate so well,
especially
when you use that disc jockey
that
voice.
DJ voice.
That DJ voice.
All right.
DJ voice for a plug.
So I have the names in the aforementioned sack. Sonny, you are playing for Emma Cohen from Stafford, Connecticut. Emma. You are playing for Emma. And I am playing for... Nick Van Fleur. I hope I'm pronouncing that right. Fleur from New Orleans. So those are the people we're playing for today.
I wonder if he's a Saints fan.
Well, if he's a native New Orleans, I would say he would be, but who knows? All right, who's going first?
Well, since I whipped you last week, I'm going to let you go first.
I gotta get rid of the rest of these names because we're going to use my sack later. I have to put these questions in my sack for use later. Okay, I'm going to go first. All right, are you ready?
I'm ready.
They laughed at Louis Armstrong when he said he was going to go to the moon. Now he's up there, laughing at them.
By the way, to help the audience, we predetermined that these would be funny sport movie quotes.
Okay, would you play that again, please?
Absolutely.
They laughed at Louis Armstrong when he said he was going to go to the moon. Now he's up there, laughing at them.
Well, I'm going to have to use my one of my lifelines right away. I'm gonna pass on that one.
You're gonna pass on that one. All right, pass on that one. All right. Well, here's your next one then.
Well,
Let me tell you who it was. Sure. It was Will Ferrell, Blades of Glory, and he played Chaz Michaels.
So you're going to classify figure skating as sports. You're going to be one of those people.
Figure skating is a sport.
Figure skating
It's why
is
it's in the
dancing.
Olympics.
It's dancing.
It's dancing?
It's dancing.
No, it's not dancing.
Yeah.
All right.
Whatever.
Here is your next one.
Tis about the matter of payment for me membership. Steve be a touch short this month. That's all right, Steve. Just pay me when you get the money. The dread pirate Steve be in no man's debt. I'll make a barter with you, true's in our star. Right, in exchange for your kindness, I'll be splitting me buried treasure with you. Once I find that be.
That's a lousy clip. Steve the Pirate.
Steve the Pirate.
Alan Tudyk. I can't pronounce that man's name.
I don't know how it's actually pronounced.
And the movie is Dodgeball.
Very good. Whoa, yes, sirree, Bob. I don't know why Bob has anything to do with it. You get 5 points for that one. 5 points, Roo. All right, go ahead. Give it to me.
And here you go, your first volley.
Wilkinson. Earl Wilkinson. Well, I knew I recognized you, man. I knew it. You played for Minnesota, baby. Oh, shit. Earl Wilkinson, man. Oh, my God, boy. You'd have been all pro if you hadn't been at them cops and going to jail.
All right. I'm going to say I don't need the ticking clock. I'm going to say it's Major League, and I don't know. I'm going to go with I'm going to go with Omar Epps, who replaced Wesley Snipes for Willie Mays Hayes, because that doesn't sound like Wesley. Really? Wow.
You got the triple buzzer, pal.
Wow. What
the
was
correct
it?
answer was The Replacements. And it was Orlando Jones as Clifford Franklin.
Yes, that is. I completely slipped my mind. Good job with that one.
Well,
all right. Here is your second clue.
Now, maybe you haven't noticed, but we aren't exactly winning any popularity contests here. They hate me. They hate you. They hate us. I didn't come all this way to get my butt whipped. As a matter of fact, now that I'm here, I thought I'd do a little whipping of my own. Good night, gentlemen.
Give me a clue.
Give you a clue. The actor was well known to be in Saturday Night Live. He was also star of Stripes. Well, starred in. He wasn't the star.
He starred in Stripes, but he wasn't the star.
Correct.
That doesn't make any sense. Play it again.
Well, that's what they do, right?
Now, maybe you haven't noticed, but we aren't exactly winning any popularity contests here. They hate me. They hate you. They hate us. I didn't come all this way to get my butt whipped. As a matter of fact, now that I'm here, I thought I'd do a little whipping of my own. Good night, gentlemen.
We need an answer.
I don't know.
You didn't recognize that? It's John Candy. From Cool Runnings, he played Irv, their coach.
Where the hell did John Candy star in Stripes?
Hello? He
wasn't the star.
I didn't say he was the star.
I think
play it back.
When you go back and play this over again,
Yeah.
and you listen, you say he was one of the stars of Stripes.
Yes.
Well, it's not a star. It's a co-star. A co-star.
Okay. Despite your
I'm sitting there
wasted,
going, how is
you got
Harold
zero.
And then secondly,
Zero.
John Candy's not from
Zero.
Saturday Night Live.
Zero.
He's from
Second City and Saturday Night
Second
Live.
City. He wasn't on
Saturday
He
Night
did
Live.
not. He was never a character. Never one of the primetime players. Never. He might have guest starred.
You're just
or
awful.
something.
You're awful. You're no.
You're terrible.
Go ahead. Get to my next one,
Oh,
please.
okay, here we go.
Yep.
Hey, guys. I got some good news for you. This morning at 9:10 a.m., I activated myself.
So that is going to be Major League, and that's going to be Corbin Burnson, and he played Roger Dorn.
And it's
What?
It was actually Major League 2. But I'll
Really,
give it to you.
we
But
had
I'm gonna
this.
get-
Yeah. Okay.
Oh no,
thank
I'm gonna give it to you. I'm gonna give it to you, even though John Candy was not part of Saturday Night
My
Live, but was Second
God.
City
Give it
television.
a
But
rest.
I'm gonna give it to you.
Thanks. All right. Here is your last one. Are you ready?
Yes.
The tulip lace bra has ruffled underwired cups, creating a curvier U for evening's bare neckline. Woo! Yeah! Matching crotchless panties are also available.
Don't know the actor, but it's Rube is the character, and it's Major League.
You are correct. I'll give you 2 points. Rube is the character. The actor is Eric Bruscotter.
I don't know.
So you get 2 points for that. So that leaves. Do I have one more left?
Yeah.
All right. I got.
Ready?
I need 2 points. Yeah. Come on. 2 points to tie.
Also, you'll want to write your names on them, because that's how you get crabs.
Oh.
And trust me, you don't want to spend your Sunday afternoon picking through your pumpkin patch with a low comb.
It's Bad News Bears, and I can see the guy. I'm never Buttermaker. I think his name was Buttermaker.
Butterscotch.
And the actor. Give me a clue for the actor.
He wasn't on Saturday Night Live.
He was married to.
He was in Tombstone.
He was married to Angelina Jolie.
He was a star in Tombstone.
And he was married to Angelina Jolie.
One of the stars in Tombstone.
No, he was married to Angelina Jolie. That's his claim to fame. I only need 2 to tie, so I'm gonna stick with that.
Damn, I just forgot about that.
What?
Billy Bob Thornton.
Billy Bob Thornton.
Billy Bob Thornton. You forgot all about him.
All right, so.
And he was married to your girlfriend.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, that's why I didn't forget that part. I knew that one. Yeah. So we're tied at 7. So
tiebreaker.
We'll put a tiebreaker.
No.
Okay. I don't know. Do you have an extra one? Let's see if I have an extra one lined up. I do not have an extra one in this category because you took your spare one.
Oh.
I do not have an extra one. So what we'll do is we will take both of these entries and we'll submit both of them into the contest. So that way,
I'll tell you what. I'll play my last one, and if you get any point, you win.
Any point, I win. Okay. All right. Go ahead.
All right.
Come on, Banks! You're supposed to be hitting a sled, not humping a butterfly. I want you mean. I want you nasty. I want you to eat raw meat. Get your ass out of here. All right, next.
Yeah. That's.
Come on, you're playing for somebody else here.
I know.
You just need a point. Dennis, you just need a point.
It's a football movie, and
you're so close. Taste it.
He was the assistant coach, and he actually had him come in for one of the games and do the game. Yeah, it was.
Just
yeah.
need one.
Just need
one thing. Oh my goodness! Click.
Can't think of the freaking movie he was in. It was with Enterprise.
Click.
Click. Oh Lord. Oh damn it. Wait, I know I don't get it, but wait. It was it was when he was the farmer and he was throwing the football and
Wally Rigg was the coach.
Yeah. What was the movie?
Necessary Roughness.
And it had from Quantum
Robert
Leap.
Loggia.
Right. And it had from Quantum Leap, what's his face?
Scott Bakula.
Yeah. All right. Well, that didn't go quite as well as planned.
So mine won. Who was my? Who was?
No, you didn't win. It's a tie.
No, I said we'll put it. I said you got to be kidding me. If you got one right, you win.
You're saying,
if you didn't get any, I don't win.
Well, Nick is going to be upset that he lost.
I bet this is all because this has something to do with Saturday Night Live.
So the winner is Emma Cohen of Stafford, Connecticut.
Now she goes into the main drawing, right?
She'll go into the main drawing. Yeah. Yep.
There you go, Emma. I fought for you all the way.
Yeah. You fought for her. Okay.
I fought for her.
You fought for her.
Through his lies and his dastardly cheating.
It's time to dig deep. That only means one thing. It's time for questions from my side.
All right, this is being sponsored by Cobbler's Corner on the corner of Arkansas and Bowen in Pantego, Texas, where you'll find expert craftsmanship at unbeatable prices. Tell them you heard this ad and receive a 20% discount on any repair. Give them a call at 817-460-0600, where they'll save your soul and gladly die for you. All right, this is pretty simple. The viewers or listeners send in your questions. You can find that form at fountainofthought.com, and they go into my little sack here, and each week we pull out 3 questions and we read them on the air. All right. So, question number 1 is from Gloria Binter. And it says, in 40 years, what do you think people will be most nostalgic for?
I'm going to have to say Joe Biden.
You think people will be most nostalgic for Joe Biden?
Oh, absolutely.
I'm disagreeing with that.
Yeah, I hope so.
And I'm gonna say Cars.
Nostalgic? No, they're going to be
Cars.
I have the definitive answer.
What's the definitive answer?
Remember back 40 years ago, that Fountain of Thought show?
Oh.
That was so much fun.
It was. Yeah. By the way, to backtrack a bit, we're going to throw, since he didn't win, Nick's name will go back into the drawing. He can still be eligible. All right, next question from Masayak is...
That whole Nick thing sounds like an election fraud happening right now myself, if you ask me.
From Abigail Wright, again from Stafford, Connecticut. And Abigail says, if you could describe social media in one word, what would it be? What would you describe social media in one word? My word is evil.
Is there a word worse than evil?
Is there a word?
Anything
so.
worse than evil
Demonic?
works for me.
Demonic?
Yeah.
Okay.
It's a shit show.
Okay. All right. And let's dig in here and pull out the last one. And it is from Alan Richer from Palmer, Massachusetts. And Alan says, who is your favorite fictional character? Who is your favorite fictional character?
Oh, God, I got so many.
Well,
what am I going to say, like through the years? I mean, one that keeps
I'm
reoccurring?
assuming, yeah.
Obviously, I'm going to go with...
wait, let me pick yours. You're going to go with James Bond.
I was going to say Mary Poppins myself, but I'll go with James Bond.
You'll go with James Bond?
Yeah, you're right. You know me better than I do.
Yeah. I don't read.
Let me tell
Go ahead. You want to do mine?
Yes,
Do me. Son,
I do.
Okay.
Yours is going to have to be, I'm going to say, Captain Kirk.
You are correct. That's very good. You are right. That's who I would pick. Yeah. Who I would pick. Yeah, very good. All right.
You would poke Captain Kirk?
Pick. Do you think I'm starting to look a little bit like him?
Yeah.
I think I am.
Yeah.
I think I am a little bit. I didn't look like him when he was young, but when he's old and fat, I'm kind of like looking like him a little bit. But
you're not even fat anymore. Look at the squash next to you over here.
Mm.
I look like Jabba the Hutt with a T-shirt.
All right.
Interested in your very own shout-out? Let us know at facebook.com/Fountain of Thought, on Twitter @TalkFOT, or email us at talkfot@gmail.com. And you could be rewarded for listening.
All right. We don't have any shout-outs this week, so I'm going to pick Nick Van Fleur as the shout-out this week because he didn't win, and it's my fault he didn't win. So...
This is no different than election fraud. You're just pushing this guy, okay? He lost, all right? I'm sorry.
Lost.
He's a big boy.
Nick, you're a loser.
He'll deal with it, all right?
Right. Well, how do we know he's a big boy? Maybe he's
It's
a
all
little
because
boy.
you couldn't come up with
I know.
Billy Bob Thornton.
I folded under the pressure. I folded. I don't know how I did it.
Or Robert Lozier or Necessary Roughness. You just scarred the game with your whole Saturday Night Live thing.
Bad feeling about this.
Yeah, I don't know.
All
right.
Yourself.
I am. I'm very ashamed of myself. It was beneath me for that. I'm sorry.
Sonny's pet peeve
of the week.
Sonny, what's peeving you off this week?
I was in the grocery store, and I happened to notice, why I have no idea, that when you buy vegetables, very similar to small cat food cans, some of them have the pull top, where most
You
of
mean
them
canned vegetables?
Canned vegetables.
My fresh vegetables don't have those.
You don't have pull tops on your fresh vegetables?
No.
Gee, I wonder why. Anyway, but your canned vegetables, they have the pull tops, and then some of them don't. And that annoys me. I don't understand why. Because, number one, the pull tops are so much more convenient. You don't have to go looking for that stupid can opener, unless, of course, you're rich like you and have one of those fancy electric can openers. But nevertheless, you still got to use the can opener. They say that it costs more money to make that can. But I say, yes, but the money that they're saving with the can is costing me more in electricity. They have to open it. I like the pull tops. And that is my pet peeve of the week.
You're stupid.
That is definitely me, not the cans, right?
Yeah, you're stupid. Yeah. All right, final thoughts. But this was a good show. We did a good job today. It was nice having a guest on the show. Made things move a little bit differently. I like it. It's a good show. Did a good job there.
And, and another thing, I just came to realize that when you have a president of the United States is elected, and we think, oh, wow, it's going to be 4 years, whether that's good or bad, it's actually 1,460 days, which is 35,040 hours, which is 2,102,400 minutes, which the more you go down the list, it doesn't sound that long after all.
All right. Thanks for sharing that information with us. You can leave your opinion and your thoughts on our listener line at 413-612-8037. Reminding everyone to subscribe to our podcast via your listening or viewing preference. And don't forget to visit our website at fountainofthought.com for contests and so much more. And everyone, please remember, be a fountain,
not a drain.
Bye-bye, everyone.
Bye.
Dilly dilly.
Thank you. Goodbye.
Oh, groovy, baby.
Here I come to save the day.
That does not
Something
compute.
strange happened to me this morning.
Shut up, you big sack of dog vomit.